Hello, everyone. Welcome to week 3 of the Hygge Holiday SAL 2024. I am so glad you're here. I'm Nicole. I am your SAL host and head cheerleader for this SAL. As I mentioned, this is a pre-recorded video this week. I am away teaching a class in Phoenix, Arizona, and so I wanted to bring you some fun content and talk about this week's assignment. As you can see in the trailer here at the beginning, we're working on the third quadrant. Can you believe we are in week 3 already? I can't. I hope everyone is enjoying the stitching. I hope you guys have all made fantastic progress and keep sharing. I know that Cathy and I have visited and we love seeing everything that you guys are doing. Speaking of Cathy, I have a treat for you guys today to keep you company with your stitching this evening or this weekend or whenever you're watching this video. I have an interview with Cathy where we chat about all things Hygge. She talks about her inspiration for the chart, the colorways, how we came up with that, our collaboration. And of course, she has some other great stuff that she's going to share. I'm sure you guys will be excited about a video that she will be doing soon. So without further ado, I'm going to let you guys watch the interview. I hope you enjoy. Okay, hi everyone. We are visiting with Cathy this evening about the Hygge Holiday SAL 2024. Cathy is going to tell us all about the inspiration for the chart, and we're just going to talk all things Hygge. Hi, Cathy.
Hello, how are you?
I am good.
Good. Hoogaing? See,
I'm
even I
trying.
say it.
I'm trying to Hygge.
Well, I'm loving seeing everybody's progress, and just enjoying their Hygge holiday and learning how to. I've actually been told from a couple people that I say it pretty well now, the Hygge.
Hygge.
But then I also have some people that say, no, you're not saying it right. That's okay. That's okay. I
Close
understand what the
enough.
meaning is.
Yes, absolutely. It's
But yeah,
very fun seeing all the different colorways people are choosing.
I know. I have loved. Well, so you took a poll, and was it which colorway won?
Blue, the colorway for the model, yeah.
But I've seen actually quite a few doing the forest, the winter
Yep.
forest. So that's really pretty too, and I can't wait to see your progress as well.
Yes, I'll hold it up here in a little bit.
Okay, I feel like I'm the teacher checking on homework.
Okay, well, there will be a few marks off.
Okay, do I need to get my red pen out?
You might have to get your red pen out.
Well, I did want to show you. I actually haven't shown that this much. I should post about it. But this was the original. This is the inspiration piece that I talk about in the chart. Now I don't know how great my lighting is. Oh, there you can kind of see some of the beigey brownie coming through a little bit. It was looking a little gray there. But this was, in fact, it was originally called Hygge Print. That's it. But I love a good alliteration. So when we knew that we were going to do this as the project, I changed it to Hygge Holiday. I purchased this, and I did include all that information in the chart from Letterpress Studio. So I'm going to assume that if you go to her website and you do want to purchase the frame, or excuse me, purchase the print, that it would be on there. And she's got some other cool little. I have some of her thank you cards. Her little. She's from Iowa, so of course some things are Iowa and Des Moines themed. So that
That's
doesn't
so
apply to
fun.
everybody, but. But I love the process about this because the artist behind it, she actually owns, her company is called Letterpress Studios, and she owns some vintage letterpress machines. So that's
Oh,
how
that's
she
so
does her
interesting.
work. So I think it's kind of fun because in this day and age when everything is digital, and look at us talking from states away and to
Right.
people all over the world, that this was done kind of by hand. And I think that's really cool. And I just the whole piece spoke to me. I went to the Kindle market in Des Moines last year and last December. I went the night before the Jingle Ball was to start. So I was in Des Moines.
Oh
We
my
stayed,
goodness.
hightailed it home the next morning, and then started Jingle Ball that evening. But my intent was to, of course, frame it, and this was on my mantle for the holidays. I actually have another series that it's in kind of a similar colorway, so it was kind of fun
That's
that I could
beautiful.
sort of integrate that all together. And then I kind of had that aha moment. I thought, it's I made it Christmassy, but it's really wintry. It doesn't scream Christmas to me. So, and I think that's what I love. And I
Yeah.
can be a little slow getting my, Christmas decorations down and moving into winter mode and all that kind of good stuff. So the fact that I can leave this up and it's still beautiful and I can still enjoy it and it still seems season appropriate, I think is a win-win. So
Oh, absolutely. I agree. Do we want to talk a little bit about how we got to collaborate?
yes, absolutely. Because well, we're coming up on it'll be a year since we actually got to meet in person, and
Yes.
uh, at Chantal's retreat, the other person involved in this project. Um,
Yes.
I taught up. She had the pep rally. I was
Yeah.
hard time remembering that. The pep rally, and that was just so much fun. I mean, Chantal, we can agree. We were talking a little beforehand.
Yeah.
Just much energy, and her energy is infectious, and I just think she's got such great ideas. She sees down to the last detail, and the fact that we were in an old school in the gym, I felt like I either needed to do like a push up, a sit up, or we were going to have, you know, go get our trays and go through the lunch line or something
Yes,
like
absolutely.
that. And the fact we had some little breakout sessions up in the bleachers, that was a lot of
It was a lot
fun.
of fun.
And then you and I got to meet we met the first night at the meet and greet.
Yes.
And so it was funny because, Miss Nicole brings her own little crowd. I heard quite a little bit of,
I don't know about that.
oh, I heard it, which I think was awesome. So it was nice to finally get to meet in person,
Yeah.
and we chatted a little bit. It's nice to meet somebody else in the industry, because
Yes.
we have a lot of common ground.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. For sure.
and, and actually, it was funny because I met you. I was familiar with your work, and then but when you did the More Chocolate Bunnies as your one of your first stitch alongs, I think. So
Hmm.
that was a lot of fun, and I got to see your model, which you brought up for show and tell, which
Oh,
was
yeah, I
great.
forgot I did that.
Yeah, and so it was a lot of fun, and it was kind of I've really enjoyed getting to know your side of the craft world, and work with you on that. So yeah, but we chit chatted a little bit, and the rest is history.
The rest is history. Yeah. I'm thinking when Chantal and I were visiting, I I hope I'm remembering correctly. I think we started talking about the Hygge chart maybe January, February.
Mhm.
Yeah. So,
Well, when you and I started talking, so you've done some stitch alongs, but then they've been based on designs that already exist. Wouldn't it be fun to have something on a brand new design?
yeah,
And I think Chantal was always kind of the one that was going between us. We'll blame her.
puppet
She
master.
can't talk about it. She can't defend herself. So, but she's like, well, you should do this. You should do that. And I was like, oh man, what can I do? What can I do? And then honestly, the Hygge print that I showed, when I saw it, my first mindset was, of course, that would be awesome in cross stitch. Um,
Yes.
but in that time frame, you're getting ready for the holidays, you're getting ready for market. It just, you just kind of tuck that in the back of your brain, like, oh, it'll happen. But it just seemed like when you came to me and said, what do you think? It was like, oh, I've got the perfect project. And I didn't show it to you right away because I was almost kind of afraid you might go, oh, that's pretty, but
But no.
you never know. But I took a picture of it sitting on my countertop and I said, what do you think? And you almost immediately were like, yes, I love it.
Yes. Yeah.
um,
And it's been
so
really fun to see the inception of turning it into cross stitch
mhm.
and the different colorways, and I'll let you kind of speak to that if you want to talk about the chart a little bit, but it's been really, really fun too.
Well, a lot of people ask me, it's, doing, rendering some actual artwork into cross stitch is not something that's new to me, but it's a lot of people will probably say, oh, you just scan it in, it's easy, blah, blah, blah. It's not as easy. I welcome you to try. It's not as easy as you think. Because I often say, in art, and even in the paper crafting world, you're able to make perfect circles. You're able to
Yeah.
make curved lines. We're dealing with something that basically comes out as a pixel, a square. So I've worked on it over the years, really trying to get, nuance and flow and shape when you take. So I always kind of, the first time I will say this, I do bring the design into my program and we kind of go from there. But that is mostly for scale, just to make sure what I design, like my reindeer wasn't, 5 times bigger than the actual one, that kind of thing. And at some point during the design process, it no longer becomes about the original artwork. It becomes about what I have to do to it to make it flow as a design that is my style. Because
Right.
obviously I'm drawn to the artwork to begin with. And I don't know, that's probably way deeper than people probably want to
No,
know.
I think it's fascinating.
But and it just I don't know, this, it was funny because even I think I showed you one of the almost final version, you saw one of the final version, and then you saw a rendition like 3 versions after that. And it was funny because I think you said, oh yeah, that's a lot different. um,
Yes.
I'm still moving pixels to the very end, just to make it, to have it be I like to honor the original artwork,
Right.
but I also like it to be mine, to be my voice. So,
Yes,
um,
definitely.
and obviously with this one, you see the original colorway. There's really only 3 colors in there. There's white, of course, as your background, and then the 2 tans, the light tan and the brown. And my original thought had been to do a version like that, but then to also have kind of a fun, like that bright pop Christmas, not your traditional red or green or anything, but like kind of like pinky and teal and whatever. And that was really in my head to begin with. And as I got working on the design and to a point where I was happy with it, and I could start playing with color, I could not find the right combination. And ultimately, I came down to that kind of colorway just in my brain didn't work.
Hmm.
And I was talking with a friend of mine, and she said, well, one of my favorite color combinations is brown and blue. And I thought, oh, yeah. Because at that point, I was really kind of coming to the conclusion that this this funky retro Christmas color wasn't going to work.
Hmm.
Um, and I had her, she was on FaceTime with me, and I, like in my program, I can kind of change a symbol and then it just floods the color. And when the blue went on there, I was just like, whoa. And
And that's it.
that was it. It was like, and right then I was like, nope, that's what so this is mine. This is my cover model.
Oh, it's
Um,
so beautiful. Here, I'm going to put you on the screen by yourself again.
yeah, it's just, I had so much fun with it. We were talking, Hygge is meant to be, as I put in the chart, a feeling of comfort, contentment, well-being through simple and everyday experiences. And I mean, if that doesn't embody our journey with cross stitch, I don't know what else does. And we were kind of laughing because you and I were talking beforehand, and I think I said this in the video. I started in the middle here with this tree, and I messed up count a couple times, and I think I probably ripped this portion out 2 or 3 times. And then I literally said to myself, like, had a conversation with myself, like, this is supposed to be Hygge. We're supposed to be enjoying the process, relaxing with
Right.
it. kind of just let it overtake you almost. I don't mean to make it sound like this holistic experience, but that's almost what I made it do.
Yeah.
And
And I think that's what stitching should be too. It should bring joy.
so from there, it's like, okay, I just started getting this in and it just flowed. And really, then I felt like at that point I stitched a lot faster just
Uh-huh.
because I was enjoying the process a little bit more.
It's
So,
beautiful. I love it in the blue.
yes. So then I think at that point you and I were doing a little bit of talking, and we said, okay, let's have like a traditional and then maybe winter, because this really is can be a winter piece. So that's kind of, well, my husband loves green. And so I knew, yep, I knew we had to have a green, something very foresty. Or it's very lodgy. It's very, I don't know. Hopefully, I'm not getting myself in trouble here. I just think it just speaks a whole different. This is definitely a new color palette to me, and
Yeah.
I love that it's working. So,
Oh,
um,
yeah. I'm loving it. I really am. But this is where I'm going to get some marks taken off.
okay, all right. I'm going to get my little red pen out there.
So here's what happened. I started here, probably shouldn't
Mhm.
have, but I did what I did. And I thought I was so smart. I hopped over here and I did the heart. And I'm like, "Oh, it looks good." And I stitched up, I stitched down, I started filling in. And then I got down here and I was like, "Why is everything not going together right?" So I came one stitch too far this way and I started one stitch up too high. So two mistakes, but we're going with it because it's Hygge.
Well, and honestly, you, as long as I would say, like, kind of note, hopefully you maybe wrote on your chart or
Oh, I
something like that,
did.
and then just do it on the other side. You'll be good.
Yes.
I mean,
I
there's
will say that I was basing this on this, and that was the
mhm,
mistake. So I ripped that out. That's fine.
mhm.
And I just did all of this correctly. And I'll just remember the tree and stitching everything exactly mirrored. So, but
That's what you
just
need to do.
keep on moving. There was no way I was ripping all that tree out.
Yeah. No,
And the
no.
heart and everything up above.
No. Make it work. Make it work. I'm usually like, if I get a message from a stitcher and they're like, I messed this up, I'm like, okay, let's figure this out because I don't want you to have to rip all
Yeah,
that.
I mean, I ripped a couple little things out along the way because I thought I had other mistakes when it was really those original two. And so once
Ah,
I figured that out, I thought, you know what? We're just going to keep moving. And we talked to before. I mentioned it to Cathy before, but once I figured that out, the rest of it stitched really fast. So I think now that I know that and I've noted it for the other side, I'm excited to
it's
keep
perfect.
going.
It's perfect. So we did do four colorways. We did, I'm calling it the original. That's based on the actual print. And then of course the blues. And then you're doing the winter forest. And then we also have kind of what I call classic holiday. And so this is kind of fun. And this is the one I think I see people the most sort of just having fun with and trying your colorway.
Yes.
And no, that being said, if you come along and you do those retro Christmas colors, I can't wait to see it. I want to, I'm sure it probably can work. I just couldn't make it work. So I'm hoping maybe somebody does do that. I think maybe in one of the lives, I saw somebody say they were going to do on pink.
Yes.
I can't wait to see that.
I
I think
can't
that
either.
so this section, I did a floss tube, kind of walking you through the chart. We talked about that
And
just
I'll link
because
that down below for everybody too.
perfect. It's not, this is not a typical hands-on design chart just because there are so many options. I think like I talked in the video, you have one page of the chart where the entire chart is on the whole page. Now, I did that more for people who like to stitch from their iPad because then you can kind of blow it up. And then I did do a chart divided over. I'll show real quick, 2 pages like that. So, and it should line up perfectly. And then I did kind of give you some inset charts on some of like the acorns and the hat, just to kind of walk you through those little, I don't want to say specialty stitch, but little embellished stitching area. And then the back stitch and all that, that's when we kind of got to these pages.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it would be nice if you had just something, a color way to, just a visual to refer to. Because in the
It's been
key,
very handy.
oh, good. In the key, a few of the, like say in the original colorway, 3 symbols are the same DMC color. That was sort of what happened when I wanted to make one just main color key instead of doing this. You would have had like a 25-page chart. You don't want that.
No,
So hopefully I think the doing the video helped, and and you're helping people along the way, which is awesome. And I think I haven't had too many questions. I think most everybody's
I
been able to
haven't
pick
either. I think it's very self-explanatory, and your video is really helpful. So
good. And then since I knew I wasn't going to stitch this 4 times, although I have seen people say that they're going to stitch it 4 times, I
I
cannot
have
wait
too.
to do
I
that.
can't wait.
I thought, well, I'll do the ornaments and I'll do them in the other colorways, so people can at least get an idea of this is kind of what oops, sorry, that's the classic holiday. That's in the little 4 square and the Hygge 4 square. And then Oh Dear and Under the Tree are both in the what I call the original colorway.
So
And
pretty.
then this is Wear Your Mittens, and I made you a hat. And that's in the Winter Forest colorway. And I don't know. I did say they were kind of, I don't know. I just they're just such rich tones,
They're so
and
pretty.
I just love all the little details. Very
And these
simple.
two are on raw. Is that correct?
Yes, this was on raw. Yes, I believe so. So changing the linen color, not a problem. And I did a very simple, kind of, I call it a hygge finish. It just like the embellishment of the little wool felt ball. All of those sources are linked in the chart. And then you and I were just kind of talking about the
Mm-hmm.
simple edge. I wanted something, I often call this, when I don't include like say rickrack or palms or trim, I call this a naked edge. Because, well, there's nothing there except the very edge. And in most cases, I do kind of a blind stitch or like a ladder type stitch, so that you don't see the thread on the edge. But in this case, I don't know if you can kind of see, you actually kind of get
Yeah.
like almost like a primitive X, like a primitive cross stitch. And I am going to do a video to show you how I do it. It's almost, think the stitch that I usually show you how to get the naked edge, but in reverse. When we do that other type, all this X is inside and we don't see that. So it's kind of doing that in reverse. And I just felt like it can
Yay.
give a very, I don't know, just a very comfy, cozy look to it.
Oh, for
And that's
sure.
what I was heading for. And I'll talk a little bit about how I got the shapes, that type of thing. So it's just been a fun process. And I know then Chantal is going to pick up and talk to you about how to put the frame together.
Yep.
And have you decided what you're going to do with yours yet?
I'm going to
You,
stain mine. So,
yeah, you had
yeah,
mentioned that last time, so that's awesome. And I think this is fun too. Like, this little piece right here, it's glued down, and this was made to fit. If you
perfectly.
16 or 32 count. And I have had some people email and say, can I do 14 and use the frame? And yes, but you won't be able to use this little inset right here, but you're still able to use the frame. You could maybe lace this, flat finish it, and then do a layer of, say, fabric or something
Mm-hmm.
like that. And it would be lovely that way too. I just
For
think the
sure.
frame, the frame is simple. You and Chantal worked together on this, and you did a good
We
job with
did.
this.
We
So
went back and forth a lot. From it always is that way. Where we start and where we end up are nowhere close, but I'm really happy with this. Um, I wanted it to be simple because I feel like that really just
Mm-hmm.
works with the Hygge philosophy. Plus, it's kind of more of a traditional framed piece, but
Mm-hmm.
still a piece that you're finishing and lacing yourself and everything.
Right.
So,
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I do like that aspect of it because, well, it's funny because the three of us worked on this project, but really you worked with me and then you worked with Chantal. And then, well, because I was doing some other things with Chantal, I would get little, snippets and
yeah.
pictures. And I actually, by the time I saw this was really the first time I saw it. And I was just blown away by it.
Oh,
And
good.
I just was like, I didn't know what it was going to look like,
Yeah.
but I had full faith and trust. So,
Well, that's good because I was like, oh, I hope she likes it. Because Chantal and I had gone back and forth and back and forth, and she's like, "What about this?" And I'm like, "No, I think it needs to be simpler." And yeah, it was a whole thing.
so I just, I just think it's so much fun to see everybody. I've joined a couple of your lives now, and just people are so excited about it, and they're really just enjoying the Hygge moments. And I don't know, it's kind of even made me have a little pause about some things in life and just kind of go, yeah, no, I'm not going to worry about that.
Exactly. Yes.
And I think that's great. So, and we always invite, if anybody has questions about the chart, they're welcome to email us. And yes, of course, we talked about the chart is only going to be available through the end of the month or end of next month.
Right.
I think it's August already.
I keep thinking it is too. Well, it will be soon enough. So,
Yes. And then, so yes, and then the chart will go into the vault. And I've been asked quite a bit if will it release later. Well, at some point, but I want to enjoy the Hygge moments now. So,
yes.
but I've enjoyed doing this, and it's been a blast working with both you and Chantal.
Oh,
So,
same. It's been so much fun. And just to remind everyone, even if you can't stitch along right now, that's okay. If you think that, you get to the holiday season, or maybe you get through the holiday season and you're into January and you're looking for something new to stitch, pick it up now and kind of tuck it away, and it'll be perfect and ready for you when you do have a moment to stitch.
absolutely, yep.
Well, Cathy, thank you so much for coming on and talking about Hygge and all of the things and showing us the inspiration. I appreciate it.
All right. Well, thank you, and happy Hygge stitching.
Happy Hygge, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel, click that like button, and don't forget to hit the notification bell to always be notified when I have a new Flosstube stitching or quilting video. Thank you guys so much for joining me today, and we'll see you next time.